Greetings, Royal Blue Nation. A name that seemed off the radar is back on the agenda. Another more familiar to the fans may be packing his bags. And there's a major midfield reinforcement being fiercely contested by two Premier League clubs. But what does all this really mean for our Everton? Don't worry, we'll break it all down. Subscribe to the channel, leave that naughty like, and stay with us until the end to understand what could change in the Toffees squad in the coming days. Hamza Igamani's name is back in the news at Finch Farm. Yes, that same striker who shone in the Europa League for Rangers and whom David Moyes already tried to bring in during the winter transfer window. Now the manager is back in the hunt, and this has generated intense and divided reactions among fans. The story goes like this. Igamani had a deal in place with Lille, but the deal fell through. Rangers are sticking their neck out for $15 million, and mind you, that's a perfectly affordable price for Everton these days, with the Friedkin group willing to invest heavily. But not everyone is thrilled. The general sentiment on social media was one of frustration. Some fans said the squad needed reinforcements in other, more urgent positions. Others questioned the players' quality and noted that the club is constantly conducting inquiries and monitoring activities they've never seen before in a transfer. But the guy's numbers aren't bad. 16 goals and 3 assists in 46 games, for a team that isn't exactly a master of attacking. And it's worth remembering, his contract runs until 2029, so any move needs to be spot on. The question remains, will Moyes persist, or will he listen to the crowd? Meanwhile, a name that manager David Moyes is very fond of has been on Everton's radar for a long time, Douglas Luiz. The Brazilian hasn't established himself at Juventus and has become a direct target for Everton, who want to bring the former Aston Villa player back to the Premier League. According to sources in the Italian press, both Everton and West Ham have already made offers. But the Toffees seem more willing to make room in the starting lineup for Luiz. In fact, former scout Brian King stated that, if signed, he'll be there to play. And that's no exaggeration. Luiz has quality set pieces, can play both as a first-choice player and further forward, and could be exactly what Everton lacked last season. The friendly against Blackburn, in fact, exposed the lack of creativity in midfield, and Luiz could be the key to changing that. A loan deal with an option to buy would be ideal, both for the player who wants to return to playing at a high level and for Everton, who are looking for a midfielder ready to deliver. Now hold on to this. Richarlison was dropped from Tottenham's friendly against Reading. No injury, no convincing explanation. Manager Thomas Frank left the Brazilian out even on the bench, and young players have been given minutes in his place. Strange? Very. Especially considering the player returned to training on time and has been trying to prove himself. Everton fans who truly adore Richarlison are starting to dream about the number 7 again. Will he be back? The board is monitoring the situation and knows that, if possible, the Brazilian's return would have an impact not only in the locker room, but also in the stands at Goodison Stadium. What's more, there are rumors that Palmeiras is also interested in the player, which could further heat up this dispute. What's clear is that Everton is making moves. Moyes wants a more competitive team and won't be content with a repeat of last season's campaign. Igamani, Douglas Luiz, and even Richarlison could be key players in this rebuild. Now, it's up to the board to act with precision, because time is short and the fans' expectations are high. So, fans, what would you do if you were in the Friedkin group's shoes? Bring in Igamani, go all in on Douglas Luiz, or make room for Richarlison's return. Comment below, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because a lot can still happen on Merseyside in the coming days. Until next time.